So welcome to Anne's Attic. Anne's Attic is a beautiful, beautiful site. We like to kind of stay in the shallows on this one. There's a lot of small things going on, so if you're into your macro, this is a really cool site. Anne's Attic, it used to be called Sailfin Reef because of all the sailfin blennies. I don't know if you guys know sailfin blennies. Yeah, the males are black, usually live in a little hole, and the males come out and they have a sail that they can display. So I think they, kind of communicate with each other, maybe warn off other males. And the females are white, so they generally, you'll find them quite a lot in the very shallow sections on the top of the hard pan, or sometimes this is all kind of rubble, so you have the sand meets this rubble. Sometimes in this area as well, you'll find it in a little hole on some of the coral heads in the rubble area. But it was named after a lady here who was a dive master for many years. Unfortunately, she passed away. There is a plaque, there is a sign, kind of just off the mooring. It's literally just over by here. That obviously has her name and what year she was born and stuff like that. So we like to say if you rub the plaque to keep it from keep it from algae growing on it, it gives you good luck for the rest of the dive. So
it's very shiny at the moment. I can see it when I was securing it.
Yeah. So it's obviously being looked after, which is nice. So we're in the Jackson Bight area, one of the first dive sites of the Jackson Bight, because we have Mixing Bowl behind us. So if you remember Mixing Bowl, the rubbly section, the sandy area, expect a similar sort of variety of life going on. The topography is a little bit different. You have this kind of just this mini wall, and then this sand and this rubble, and then the main outer wall. And as I mentioned before, I think personally what we tend to do is just stay on the inside of the shallows. You can go off onto the main wall if you like, but we've done a couple of wall dives now, and the shallows are just really, really pretty. So that's what we tend to do on this dive. So if you want to follow Louise, what she's going to do, come to the edge of the mini wall, she's going to drop down to the base of the mini wall, which is around about 45 feet or so. And then you'll see big barrel sponges. You sometimes get barracuda swimming by, maybe some nurse sharks swimming as well. But there's a particular sponge I'd like to, mention. It's called a touch-me-not sponge. Okay, so it's a little bit different. It's called that for a reason. Please don't. It's kind of like, it's not so much a barrel, but more like just like a blob with lots of, sort of openings within this sponge. I did actually point one out on Joy's Joy. So I don't know if any of you guys remember, I showed the magnifying glass and there was some shrimp living inside it. Do you remember that? Yeah, so the touch-me-not sponge, it's kind of like fire coral, which is why it gets its name. So obviously it gets you a bit of a sting if you touch it. And it's a bit like the barrel sponges in colour, and almost a little bit darker though, more like a reddish maroony colour. And lots of different indentations. And it has, where's the white-footed shrimp bluish? Oh gosh, you can't even see it on the picture, let alone in real life. So good luck finding it, because I can't even see it on the actual photo. But it's not a great photo, to be honest with you. You can see their little white claws, and they've got speckles all over. If you shine a torch inside them, they kind of stand out a little bit more. So there's white-footed shrimp, and they only live in those sponges. So it's something to look out for, especially if you're into macro. Maybe if Louise, you can take my magnifying glass and show you guys.
Got my own.
Oh, there we are. She's got her own. So that's a cool little thing to look for, maybe at the beginning of the dive. And then we just kind of make our way across where the sand meets the rubble, that kind of partition between two types of, almost topography. Is a really nice section just to glide across, because there's loads of life here, and you'll find quite a lot of vine algae, that kind of grass that looks like it grows up, and it's just a hot spot for pipe horses. So if you didn't manage to see one, I know Louise spotted like 3 or something on, was it Jackson's yesterday afternoon. If you haven't seen one of them yet, there's a good chance of them being there. Lots of pipe fish and pipe horses, so fingers crossed for you guys in that sense. And then what I do is I just kind of make my way to the base of the main outer wall. If you want, you can go over. Just make sure you stick to 60 feet. I personally find so much in the shallows that I spend my time kind of zigzagging my way across this rubble patch. Lots of queen conch moving around. You get lots of sand tile fish, the long slender ones that kind of swim and then stop and then swim, yeah. And they kind of build themselves homes and stuff. So loads of life going on, very, very pretty. And then you get to this mini wall. That's kind of when you want to make your way back. You can make your way on the base of the mini wall. Throughout the mini wall, you might see some good spot for moray eels actually and big lobsters. Or if you like, you can make your way on top of the mini wall where it's really shallow, talking like 25 feet or so. Nice way to sort of off gas all the way back to the boat. Looking out for those sailfin blennies, of course, and perhaps even like maybe some pudding wives swimming around. So really, really nice. Lots to see, lots to do. Good site for the small stuff. It's Anne's Attic. It's 60-foot dive as a maximum for 50 minutes. And